Hey, good morning to you. Good afternoon. Mark again here at WeatherMan Plus. We have a lot of good updates. It is Friday, April 23rd, so yay, it is the weekend, so God bless every single one of you. I do hope you have a great day today, even though you do have some storms that are brewing up. Now, as you can see, these storms will brew up towards Texas with the surface low pressure. It will carry to the southeast, and it will go to the northeast with these severe storms. Although Euro and GFS is showing two different outcomes for the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Now, we'll go through all this. If you've never been here before, hello, my name is Mark. I do upload every single day except Friday afternoon into Saturday afternoon, because Friday evening at sundown, I go into my Sabbath. So God bless every single one of you. I appreciate you for coming to my channel today. Now, before I go through all the National Weather Service and the NOAA warnings for you guys, on the top left and right above my head, I have the supercell composite for the chance of supercells to form. That way you can see where the best chance for tornadoes could be as far as the system moves to the southeast. Now, the National Weather Service has been flipping and flopping around as far as the energy, trying to figure out what the worst case scenario is for everybody so far. And as far as the regular outlook, you can see you do have thunderstorms in this outer green as well as lower Florida. But now you have the marginal that is in the green, you have the slight risk that is in the yellow, and now you have an enhanced risk that is in this orange right here. And this enhanced risk is not for tornadoes, but we'll go through everything for you. Now, the day one tornado outlook probability pattern has updated. Now you have 5% in this little area here, and you have 5% along this area of right here. The rest of it is 2%. Now, there will be some cold air aloft that will bring this down into a lot of possibilities of hail as well. Now you have the 15% is in this dark brown right here. You have the 5% in this lighter brown, and then in this way lighter brown outside is your 2% chance for hail. You have a 30% chance for damage and winds in this dark yellow right here. And there's 15% chance for this lighter yellow for rough winds, and it gets lighter as you go into this brown section, which I'm showing that there is a good pocket of 50 miles per hour gust winds that will be below this surface low pressure as it moves to the east. So really there will be a nice pocket go all the way from Louisiana all the way to the Carolinas, even possibility for North Carolina for 50 miles per hour gust winds passing by. Now, there is no chance for significant tornadoes for day one, but there is a chance for significant hail, and that's in all this area that you see here. That's a chance for a hail from 1 to 2 inches, possibly even greater, but it's looking like it's just 1 to 2 inches. But it is significant. It can cause damage, so be aware of the hail. And for day two, you will have thunderstorms in the west, and I will go through that. You actually do have another cold Arctic blast that will hit the northwest. I will go through your temperatures for you over there, as well as you have thunderstorms in this outer green from Florida all the way from Louisiana up to Virginia. Now you're in the marginal risk for thunderstorms in this darker green area, and you're in a slight risk for this yellow, and it has stretched even further up North Carolina. But still, your chance for tornadoes for tomorrow, all this green area here is in your 2% and your 5% area. Your most biggest chance for tornadoes is in this circle here, and this is where that energy grows real big and then goes back down. I will show you. Probability for hail for tomorrow. Everything in this light brown all over to North Carolina, all the way to the edge of Florida, is in your 5% chance for hail for tomorrow. And you have a 15% chance in this darker yellow right here. And you have an even greater chance for hail, even large hail, in this brown shade circle right here. This is where the energy bust is real big. This is one of the strongest points, at least on the tornado perimeters. And your probability for winds for tomorrow is 5% in this brown, and 15% is in this yellow, because the damaging winds at 50 miles per hour plus winds that is passing by below the system will carry all the way to the Mid-Atlantic. Now, there's no chance for significant tornadoes tomorrow, but there is a chance for significant hail in this circle right here for tomorrow. So please be aware there's a chance for 1 to 2 inches of hail that can fall in this area as these storms pass by. And your day 5 outlook is still the same. You still have a 15% chance of severe weather, all in this yellow, for day 5. That's for that next surface low pressure. If you remember, I showed you yesterday, we're going to have this problem all the way until May 7th. It's just going to be storm after storm after storm. Now, before I get started, I want to give you a quick shout out, and you know I don't do this often, guys. Matter of fact, the last time I did this a few months ago, I actually got burned, and the guy said that he don't support my channel. I don't think he believes in God personally, but he definitely took what we gave him and ran with it and just left us in the dark. Anyway, this is Nate Snyder. I've been following him for a couple of years now. He is a very smart young man, and he knows what he's talking about. So if you do want some extra information, because he does do very good detail as well as I love myself, so please go check him out. I don't recommend often, and I tell you, this guy right here, he knows what he's talking about. He's on the right track. I see very special things coming out of him as he grows older. So I will leave a link to his channel pinned to the top of my comments. It'll be right below the video so you can see it. Please go check him out. Give him some support. God bless you. I do appreciate your help. And a quick look at our temperatures. You will notice that the warm temperatures are coming back, guys. So this is pretty much going to be one of our last coldest anomalies that is happening, except for what's going to happen to Northwest when the Arctic blast does reach in. But you can see that warmer temperatures do come back day after day. Look at that, warming up really nicely, very nicely by Tuesday and Wednesday, and it's covering the whole eastern half. And everybody's getting warm temperatures definitely by Friday. So look at this. Warm temperatures are coming back soon, and they will be around for quite some time. I do show that the cold weather is gone except for what's about to happen to the Northwest. As well as our pollen count for today. If you look at it, you can see that the yellow is medium, the orange is medium high, and the red is high amounts of pollen in your area today, and especially the Ohio Valley in the Northeast, but especially Ohio Valley. Y'all really have a lot of pollen going on today, so please be aware going outside. If you have allergies, there is a high pollen count for today. The Arctic oscillation from the GFS is confirming that this cold air will go through until the end of April, and then it will go towards a neutral to a positive phase, with the worst case scenario being around the 25th and 26th, which I'm still showing is the northwest and the southwest. And I will show you your temperatures as that does come through. But once again, we do see that there could be another dip in the beginning of May that could affect, I'm showing possibility for Texas, possibility for Southeast if the temperatures get worse. So far, it's in the high 30s to the middle of the 40s, and it's not real close, so it's really not worth talking about until it gets a little bit closer. But the Euro is now showing that when it goes up from the end of April, from what we're getting now, that this next Arctic blast actually, instead of going towards a neutral phase, could reach back down into our country once again for the beginning of May. And there's your shot from the 500 millibars for your temperatures, and you can see this cold air anomaly coming in on the 25th, and it does carry over into the 26th with very cold temperatures. All this purple is actually freezing temperatures at the 2-meter level, but you see as it swings in, the coldness don't stay with it. It loses its punch. But what the Euro is picking up is what the GFS is starting to pick up now, is that it does stay cold air anomaly in the south. It does keep a deep ridge all the way into the end of April until the beginning of May. So you'll see that this cold air does twirl for a little while. There is a chance for some freezing temperatures in the southeast. It's a little too far to be sure about it, so I don't want to go into speculation about it yet until it does come back, but it does stay around for a while, and that purple is freezing temperatures at 2-meter level. So I will stay on top of that. But if you notice, as you get to the beginning of May, it stays around and don't leave. So it will be around for a while, as another chance for another dip could be coming down, at least for the southwest. Now, as we start our day today, you can see how the surface low pressure will build up right around noontime. And as it moves across, all the storms will be with it. You can see that the energy from the upper level low to surface low pressure does switch, and it does carry along to the southeast. That's what keeps this really strong. Right here where this surface low pressure tries to pop up, it starts getting a lot of vorticity, a lot of energy from the Gulf of Mexico, and it does keep the storms very strong. But it does weaken down greatly after it passes. So the biggest point for what I'm showing will be from northern Louisiana all the way to Mississippi, Alabama, and then Georgia, part of South Carolina as it dies down. But there will be some rain bands that will come down that will bring some more chances for some hail and some possible tornadoes. So it's really, we got to watch this all day long. Then as the system moves off to the northeast, it will bring some more possible storms for the mid-Atlantic, for Delaware, New Jersey. For the northeast, you will have a chance for storms to pop up. I will update that as that gets more information. So as that cold air anomaly comes back into the northwest, right around the 25th to the 26th, this is early in the morning on the 26th on Monday, you can see the cold air that is hitting. This is our 2-meter temperatures. You are in the 40s, some people in the 30s in the higher elevations. And it will bring 30s and 40s to a lot of people, even freezing conditions. A lot of this freezing conditions you see is higher elevations. They will be the ones that will be seeing the snow out of this, but there will be some rain for y'all as well. And it will carry down to the southwest also. Almost all of California is going to be in the 30s or the 40-degree temperatures, with the higher elevations feeling like you're in single digits. But there will be some freezing temperatures for Nevada. It'll be for the whole southwest. It'll be for the northern half of Arizona and the northern half of New Mexico. But there will be some cold air that will be coming in. So when I do a 5-day outlook to see what your precipitation rate is, and this is your precipitation of your rainfall of what you will be getting within the next 5 days. And once again, the heavy amounts that you do see everywhere, these are higher elevations, and they will actually be seeing snow. And the same thing for the southwest. Most of the higher elevation that you see, all this heavy rainfall, will be snowfall, but there will be rain for a lot of people within the next 5 days. But once again, the snow will be in a higher elevation. Some of it will be on the ground as you get more central to the U.S. This is your snowfall rate for the next 5 days. And the southwest as well. This is your snowfall for the next 5 days, especially in the higher elevations. You could get almost 2 feet of snow in certain isolated parts. But you can see how you got like Arizona, how the southern half don't have anything, northern half has the snow. That's because you saw those freezing temperatures was pretty much halfway across the state. So the northern half of Arizona, New Mexico, you will see freezing temperatures, you will see snowfall, but the southern half will not. And once again, this is higher elevations. And if you follow your winds, so you can see exactly when the crosswinds will be to where the best chance for the rotation will be, is you does your 850 millibar winds. You can see the winds are going from the south to north. Is right around 3 p.m. today. You see the winds get real strong. That triangle right there, that's 50. So it's 50 plus knot winds going from south to north, and it is strengthening up as the day goes along. Now by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, then it's really going to get a lot of power, especially for northern Louisiana. This is from south to north. I will show you the crossover of the 500 millibar as well. This is around the same time that it does bulk up from the west to the east. These are very strong knot winds. It's getting into the high 60s now, even some places almost 70 as it goes across northern Louisiana and Mississippi. And it will be nocturnal, guys, by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now you're getting strong winds over 77 knots, which is very strong. And you see them still pulling all the way from Mississippi over into Alabama, and then it will go into Georgia as well. And at your 500 millibar level, you can see your winds going from the west to the east, which gives you a crossover right around the same time, right around 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The winds go from the west to the east, and it is all northeast Texas, northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas as it goes through the evening for your crossover. So I do show that it will be northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, central Mississippi as it goes across, but as it goes further into tomorrow, it will be more southern. So you got to stay alert for that. Then when you get into 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, now you can see some strong crossover winds from the 500 millibar level going to southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama as well. Here's a look from the southeast, so you can see right around 6, 7 p.m. The crossover winds do come into Louisiana from the 850 millibar height. And at the same time, you do have crossovers coming from the 500 millibar that could cause a rotation. But once again, the worst part in the beginning will be northern Louisiana, central Mississippi. And right when you get around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, then it's going to get a little more southern. But you can see these strong grouping of winds, and that's because your surface low pressure is right above it. Then as it moves to the east, all this vorticity, all this pulling up this energy will be below it. So it will grow very strong winds from the south to the north all the way until tomorrow morning around 11, 12 o'clock. Then it'll carry into the Carolinas, and it'll start to weaken as it goes. And at your 500 millibar height from the winds going from west to east for your crossover winds, showing wherever that crossover is going to be is where your rotation is going to be. Right around 9 o'clock tonight, and as you go into 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, it will carry over in Alabama, but then it'll start again for Louisiana. So I really show that southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, the worst part will start around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It will have a strong crossover at the 500 millibar height where it's meeting up with the 850. It will be powerful. It will go all the way south, but the most potent part as far as 850 millibar winds will be central Mississippi, central Alabama, and central Georgia as this passes by into South Carolina. Now these winds will stay strong at the 500 millibar height all the way until the coast of southeast North Carolina. That's why you have your big threat, because you do have strong crossover winds going all day tomorrow, all the way into North Carolina, at least at the 500 millibar height. It kind of dies down at 850. That's why the chances kind of get less. And here's a shot from the mid-Atlantic, so you can see the winds do pop up into eastern Tennessee right around 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they are powerful. And this is the 850. This is from the south to the north. And you can look at this, straight south, straight north, and it does carry over into North Carolina, into Virginia, and it is staying powerful the whole time, all the way into Delaware, Long Island, New Jersey, as the surface low pressure moves offshore. And the 500 millibar height shows that it is a lopsided storm. 850, your winds will be right around here by Tennessee, while at the 500, your bulk of it will be over the Carolinas, mostly North Carolina. So it will be lopsided. It will not be breathing really great, but it still has enough for severe storms as it goes by. And if you put it on your P-watt anomaly, which is your precipitable water, you can see as our day goes by today, you can see it does build up. It does pull the energy from the Gulf of Mexico. It does create some strong storms. Now, as they go through the evening into tomorrow, you can see the energy pulls way up into central Mississippi, northern Louisiana. It does carry across Alabama and Georgia before it winds down. So here's your Cape values for Texas as you go into 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then it starts to strengthen up real good as this surface low pressure does create its energy. It does pull all this vorticity and energy into this surface low pressure as it moves to the east, northeast. And right around 7 p.m., you're already at 4,300 joules and climbing. It actually gets to 4,800, even 5,700 by the time you get to 10 p.m. tonight. Now, this is down here in lower Texas. This is where a lot of vorticity is happening. There's a lot of upper level lows trying to become surface low pressures as it moves across. But you can see it does win over, and it does go over northern Louisiana, and the surface low pressure will go straight across central Mississippi and Alabama. I'm actually showing that there will be a high vorticity that will be in northern Louisiana across the center of the South states. And as you go into tomorrow morning, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, the daytime heating comes into effect. The energy does grow for even more instability. The Cape values skyrocket back up to 3,700 again. And I will get a closer shot for you. As you get into the afternoon, this is 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then it gets to the strongest point of over 4,000 joules. This is for southern Mississippi, southern Alabama. This is actually when the tornado perimeter is strengthened up and moved to the east. But you can see it does quiet down for Louisiana, for Mississippi as you go into tomorrow evening for 7, 8, 9, and even 10 o'clock at night. And your tornado perimeters for Texas, as you go to 1, 2 o'clock in the evening, it does bulk up very strongly all the way to 5, 6 o'clock at night. And that's where you get a lot of strength. That's where the vorticity really starts to swing around the surface low pressure before it starts to move on to the southeast. And this is already a 9 out of 10 chance for tornadoes by 7 p.m. And as you go later in the evening, then you can see the vorticity get real strong around the surface low pressure. Now you're getting a 13 out of 10 chance for tornadoes. It's actually picking up the vorticity from that tightening of the surface low pressure as it's about to move to the southeast. And then when you get at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, then the energy moves across southeast Texas, southern Louisiana, and then it will go across central Mississippi and central Alabama as well. And then when you get to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, then you're going to get your daytime heating again, which will create more energy, and it will bulk up to big tornado perimeters as this surface low pressure passes by. So here's your Cape values for the southeast. You can see how it does get more energy as your day goes along and goes towards the Carolinas. So as you go into 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, you get a lot of energy for Texas. But when you move until later into the morning, now you can see the energy is really building up with a daytime heating for your Cape values as of 12, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then it strengthens up to a ridiculous amount once you get to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Now you're getting over 4,000 joules. Then by 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, it starts calming down and going away. Now the tornado perimeters really bulk up for the southeast and it gets really strong. I really think that's the best chance is when those rain bands do pass by. I think they will create some chances for tornadoes. It's really a strong potency. As you go from 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can see the energy transfer over from the southeast Texas into Louisiana, and you will see it go across Mississippi and Alabama as well. But this will be an overnight problem for Louisiana. Then 7, 8 o'clock, even 10 o'clock in the morning, then it starts bulking up real good with the daytime heating for southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, as well as the panhandle of Florida. Then it grows super strong all the way into the early afternoon as the surface low pressure does pass by. So for 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon into 4 p.m., then you have your strongest amount for your tornado perimeters before it starts on its weakening phase. And you see it's almost a 16. You have a 15 out of 10 chance for tornadoes at that time. That is a hectic amount of a lot of energy that is going on, and it does transfer over. As you go into tomorrow evening, around 8 p.m., you have a lot of energy still for tornado perimeters for Georgia, but now it's moving over into South Carolina, and it will carry on to North Carolina as well as you go into 9, 10 o'clock, even 11 o'clock for North Carolina coast. So get a little better timing. There's a little closer look for Louisiana and a little bit of Mississippi around 10 o'clock tonight. Your tornado perimeters do strengthen around Lake Charles in the southwest of Louisiana. It will come in from the southeast of Texas. Now, once you hit around 1 o'clock in the morning, then the energy will come over and it will bulk up, especially around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So central Louisiana, you need to watch out. There is a lot of energy that will be passing by you overnight. As it grows for the daytime heating for tomorrow, then it's going to be bad for Mississippi and Alabama as well. By noon, 1 o'clock tomorrow, then it's going to bulk up real bad for southern Mississippi. Then it's going to be a big time problem for Alabama. Here's another shot for tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. Once you get to about 7, 8 a.m., then Alabama will get a nice piece of energy that will come by as this surface low pressure does come by the southeast and before it heads to the north. And it will give some vorticity, it will give a lot of energy and good chances for tornadoes. But once you get to 10, 11, even 12 o'clock tomorrow, that's when you have the best time for your daytime heating in the south. You have a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture in the air, and now your tornado perimeters are going to climb. And the strongest point, I mean, even though this is a big bulk of energy, it does move to the east, but the strongest point is sometime around 2, 3 p.m. tomorrow for Alabama and Georgia. Now you're at almost a 17 chance out of 10 for tornadoes to pop up within that hour. And once you get to 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, then it's going to start getting into the Carolinas a little bit, but it will start to weaken down for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And Georgia, right around 11, 12 o'clock, then your chances start to drop significantly. You lost all that daytime heating, and that big chance for tornado perimeters really go away. But here's another shot so you can see for South Carolina and a little bit of North Carolina that it does go into, which I'm showing damage and winds does carry to the coast for you, North Carolina. But right around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, it starts going into Georgia. Now, this strong burst is going to go all morning, all early afternoon long. Then it'll start coming into Carolina right around 5, 6 o'clock at night. You'll still have storms before that. But this is your strongest point for your tornadoes to happen. This is your tornado perimeters. And it'll stay strong all the way to the northeast of South Carolina along the coast. 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Now you get another strong section along the coast of South Carolina. So please be careful as this energy goes by. You will get these rain bands that will pass by, and they have a lot of long-lived cells in them, and they have some damaging winds. So 5 p.m. South Carolina all the way until about 10 p.m. is when you're strongest, I can see by the coast. But that's also at 10 p.m., 9, 10 p.m. when it starts to get into North Carolina. And it will go overnight into the midnight hours to about 1 o'clock before it disappears, North Carolina. Now, when you look at the cells and see exactly what's going on with the composite and which chances of long-lived cells, you can see that it does start up in northern Texas, right around the Panhandle, going into Oklahoma with some long-lived cells that could cause some tornadoes. You need to watch for that. You get some bowing out, which is showing that there will be damage and winds within these storms. Then once you get into late night to the early morning hours, then you get these bands coming across northern Louisiana with some long-lived cells across Mississippi. And for the southeast, I am showing that it does have a chance for tornado perimeters at its strongest at the daytime heating for tomorrow. As you go into 7 o'clock tomorrow, these storms will move by with these two good bands, and that isn't one of your biggest threats that you do have. There is a lot of chances for these tornadoes to pop up at that time, but if you watch closely, you get a lot of storms over South Carolina and North Carolina. But your biggest threat is going to be late in the evening tomorrow into the overnight hours, because you will have long-lived cells that will come by. They will bow out into a long line of storms. As this moves towards the coast, you can see the bowing out of the damaging winds. A lot of long-lived cells along this whole piece, all the way into the early morning hours for Sunday. But as you go into this evening and to later tonight, you can see the storms do go across Missouri. It goes across Arkansas, the northern South states, but Tennessee really gets a lot of rain come tomorrow morning. It does go for Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina. It does get part of the Ohio Valley, but however, the severe part does stay around central to the southeast. But these rain bands that do come by later on for Saturday is bringing a lot of long-lived cells with them. It is going to be a lot of danger. I think this is going to be a bigger threat for tomorrow than they're anticipating. Are really showing that there's a chance for tornadoes in those rain bands. Now, as you go through your day today, you do see that there is some gust winds that do pick up. And it's not a real significant amount. It's in the 30s and the 40s. But early in the morning, around 3 or 4 o'clock, when you get that energy transfer that I showed you from the tornado perimeters, your surface low pressure is moving across. And right below it, south and east of it, is where all your damaging winds will be. And there is a pocket of 50 plus miles per hour damaging winds that will be moving with this storm cell. And it will go by overnight into the tomorrow hours. And then around 7 o'clock in the morning for southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and Georgia is when this surface low pressure decides to cut it to the north. And this is where it spreads out a little bit of the damaging winds. And when it leaves up north is when it will fan out those long rain bands that will have those long-lived cells. You can see them right here. There is some damaging winds that will go across South Carolina, North Carolina for tomorrow. And with those rain bands coming down, there is some damaging winds that will be with it. So you need to watch out for that. But according to the GFS, your 5-day rainfall outlook is heavy for the Northeast, northern Texas, southern Arkansas, and central for the South states still once again. It is different than the Euro. The Euro is showing that the system will move further north, and the GFS is showing that it will stay on that south track. That way it's showing more heaviness in the south. The Euro showing that it will spread out as it heads north, and it won't be all these heavy amounts. And this is the Euro here. It shows it is more spread out. There's not going to be all these isolated sections going on. But the GFS does show that anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in all this red will carry along the center of these states. And that's because the surface low pressure is right above this. As it moves by, then curves up late. The Euro is showing it curves up right by Mississippi, and it won't be all this heaviness. And this is the Euro here. As it curves up to the south and east of the system will be the heaviness of the storm, and it won't be so much like the GFS is showing. And if you remember from what I showed you yesterday from the potential velocity anomaly, that we are going to have these storms back to back all the way to May 7th. And right here on our 5-day outlook, this is why you have 15%, because this is about to start all over again come next Wednesday, Thursday. Alright guys, so thank you for watching my video. Thank you again for visiting my channel. God bless you and your family. I do pray that everybody will be safe through these storms. God, please keep everyone that watches this video, keep them safe. They do love you, Lord. They do know that you are alive and a living God. They have all trust in you, Father. Give them mercy. Spare them any severe storms, any death, any pain, or any power outage. Thank you again for hearing us. Amen. Thank you again, guys. God bless you all. I do pray that y'all will be safe. I also do pray that y'all do go visit Nate. He is a good guy. You will be glad you went and saw him. Trust me, you will learn a lot of things from him. He's very smart. I've been watching him for a couple of years. I don't think he knew that till today. Been watching you a couple of years, bro. This is actually my 4th time uploading parts of this video. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but devil's really been stopping me from trying to get this out to y'all, and I will persevere. I will push through. For I work for the Lord, and I work to my fullest for him. So I will get this to you. So here's my message from me to you today, guys. God's Word. Psalm 48. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great King. God is known in her palaces for a refuge. For lo, the kings were assembled, they passed by together, they saw it, and so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them there, and pain, as of a woman in travail. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with an east wind. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of the Lord of hosts, in the city of our God. God will establish it forever. Selah. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. According to thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion, and go round about her. Tell the towers thereof. Mark ye well her bulwarks. Consider her palaces, that ye may tell it to the generation following. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide, even unto death. Amen. God bless you all again for the fourth time. Hope you have a very blessed Friday. I do hope everybody will be safe. I do pray that y'all go see Nate. You will not regret it. All glory does go to God, God of Jacob. Amen.